we put a real quality product out.
It's not I, it's us.
It's a place where you want to come to work.
It's just like a family here.
It's just amazing the amount of work and pride everybody takes in their jobs here.
And I really appreciate the company I work for because I'm proud of it.
We feel that pride as a team.
Great people to work with.
It's a company that's on the move.
The Safeway Supply Division, an organization that is among the best in North America at what it does. An organization committed to quality, value, excellence, and building management capability. And with state-of-the-art plants staffed by the best employees in the business, the Supply Division is without a doubt here to stay. Safeway Supply Division is part of Safeway Incorporated, a Fortune 50 company and one of the largest food and drug retailers in North America. Since re-emerging as a publicly traded company in mid-1990, Safeway has experienced a dramatic transformation, a turnaround led by one of the industry's most talented management teams. What was once a company that produced disappointing operating and financial results is now the preeminent food and drug retailer in North America. And the reason for the turnaround? A formula for success that drives the decision-making process. In all areas of the business, Safeway is committed to lead the industry in reducing the cost of doing business, achieve industry-leading sales by building market share, manage capital effectively by increasing capital spending at record levels, achieve a clear competitive advantage by delivering a legendary level of service, and enhance the company's growth through acquisitions. And building on this formula, the Supply Division is driving operational excellence, improving efficiencies with regard to quality and waste reduction, reducing costs, and building management capabilities. Thanks to this formula for success, Safeway has strengthened its operation from coast to coast. The company now operates over 1,600 stores across the United States and Canada. The company also holds a 49% interest in Casa Ley, which operates nearly 80 food and general merchandise stores in Western Mexico. And thanks to dedicated employees, Safeway's major retail divisions are among the best supermarkets in the industry. Vons is one of the largest supermarket operations in Southern California, with over 325 stores under the names Vons and Pavilions that operate from the Mexican border north to Fresno, California, and from the Pacific Ocean to Las Vegas, Nevada. Dominick's is the second largest supermarket operator in Chicago, with over 115 stores in and around the greater Chicago metropolitan area. Since 1925, Dominick's has been a favorite of thousands of Midwestern customers. Carr-Gottstein Foods is Alaska's largest retailer, operating 49 stores in Anchorage, Fairbanks, Juneau, Ketchikan, the Kenai Peninsula, and other Alaskan communities. Carr-Gottstein is also the state's largest food warehouse and distribution operator, and is Alaska's largest freight company. And Randall's Tom Thumb is a 116-store Texas-based operation with 46 Randall stores in the Houston area, 12 stores in Austin, and 58 Tom Thumb stores in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. The company employs more than 18,000 associates. This formidable array of supermarkets does indeed make Safeway the preeminent food retailer in North America. Supporting the retail operation is the Supply Division, an organization whose main function is to purchase, manufacture, and process Safeway's private label merchandise. The Supply Division also manufactures private label and national brand products for a variety of U.S. and international customers. And with a history that dates back to the 1920s, the Supply Division has long been a part of Safeway's success. The Supply Division dates back to 1926, when Safeway opened 6 bakeries and a milk plant. From the 1920s to the early 50s, the division grew at a steady pace, producing such private label products as ice cream, coffee, candy, and mayonnaise. In the mid-50s, the division was hit hard by cost-cutting measures and decentralization. But despite continued pressure to downsize during the 1970s and 80s, the division continued to provide an assured supply of quality products to Safeway's retail operation. And when Safeway's present management team took over in the early 90s, the supply division took on a new, vital role within the company. Challenged to be a world-class operation, the supply division now manufactures some of the very best products on the market. Without a doubt, Safeway's supply division is here to stay.
The reason Safeway has decided to own its own supply operations is quite simple. By operating our own bakeries, ice cream plants, milk plants, other various facilities that we have, from meat to eggs to cookies to dog food. This allows us to have a lower cost than what we would have if we were to procure those items outside of our own manufacturing capabilities. In addition, the fact that we have the ability to manufacture these items keep the national brands honest in their negotiations with us on a day-in and day-out basis.
The supply division now has 43 plants, 30 in the United States and 13 in Canada. Strategically located in cities that best enable Safeway to supply its retail divisions, the manufacturing operation employs over 5,000 men and women in a variety of plants. The supply division operates 12 dairy plants, which produce milk and other dairy products, including yogurt and cottage cheese, 6 ice cream plants, 8 bakery plants, 3 cheese and meat packaging plants, 4 beverage plants, 2 fruit and vegetable processing plants, 2 plants that produce other foods such as peanut butter, jams and jellies, and salsa, and 1 pet food plant. The amount of product produced at these plants each year is staggering. Over 210 million loaves of bread, 55 million packages of rolls, 50 million gallons of ice cream, 300 million gallons of milk, 40 million cases of soft drinks, 120 million pounds of dry dog and cat food, 70 million pounds of jams and jellies, and 65 million pounds of salsa, plus 40 million pounds of frozen food and vegetables, and 124 million pounds of meat products. Considering this diverse group of products, the supply division is on a clearly charted course.
The mission of the supply division is to be the best manufacturer of any retailer in North America.
In order to carry out this mission, the supply division is organized into business units, a structure that makes it easier for the division to function as a team and share best practices across the vast geographic area in which it operates.
The reason why we are organized in business units at Safeway in the supply division is focus. By and large, our products fall into 4 categories: dairy, bread, carbonated beverages, and grocery items. And so we look at each one of our businesses in those categories and use the lines that we have across those businesses to start to compare who's doing well, who's doing not as well, and what's the difference between those that are doing well and those not doing well. And it leads us to solutions that helps improve the efficiency and the operational excellence for the group overall.
Within this structure, the supply division has clear goals and objectives.
The principal goals and objectives of the supply division are to build management capability and to help Safeway drive $100 million of cost out of our system. Accomplishing those goals really go to the first point in a program that we have in place called M&W 2000. The first point is build management capability. We have to provide our people the tools, the resources, the skills to achieve the very, very high standards that we have set for ourselves. The other thing that we are trying to do is implementing a program, a process to help us get to where we have to go. And that process is called M&W 2000. It stands for Manufacturing and Warehousing 2000. And the focus of this program is to give us a series of processes that we can institute in each and every one of our plants that allows us to eliminate waste, to improve machine reliability, to improve quality, and most importantly, to ensure product availability to all our retail stores.
Well, M&W 2000 is a three-stage process involving taking standardized measures in the plant, measures that are relevant to the processes within the plant, team problem solving and action planning around things that need to be improved in the plant, and also creation of what's called a visual factory. It's a clean, highly organized workplace with everything has a place and everything is in its place. The plant managers and plant employees should be excited about M&W because it's simple, it's very logical, and it works. M&W gives structure to a lot of the things that plant employees are already doing in their everyday workday.
The M&W process has allowed us to take all those impact areas of productivity, quality, shrinkage, and just to name a few, and put them under one umbrella to help us manage that end of the business, to improve upon those areas that need improvement, to help us set those measures so we know where we are today and where we're going to go tomorrow. The M&W process has done an incredible job of bringing the workforce and staff together. There's much better communication than there's ever been before. The employees originally, when M&W was rolled out, took a wait-and-see type of attitude. But since seeing the steady improvements we've made, have now started to participate in discussions and become more decision makers, where before they just waited for managers to make those decisions for them.
M&W will make Safeway a better company by providing clean, efficient workplaces, which will be better, safer workplaces for our employees. It will also allow us to be more cost efficient and thereby more competitive as we sell our products to Safeway retail, allowing them to grow their business as we grow ours.
With M&W 2000 in place across the organization, the supply division will be better able to do what it already does so well: produce top quality products that are as good as or better than national brands. It's an approach that requires a rigorous attention to quality, the ongoing production of top-of-the-line Safeway brand products, a high level of accountability throughout the division, and a commitment to teamwork and developing leaders from within the organization.
We're focused and geared to be a world-class plant.
Everyone down here's common goal and focus is on making the best product that we can.
Every way, shape, or form that we can provide, we're committed to the customer and giving them the best quality.
With Select, over the last 5 years, we've put a real quality product out.
It's pretty exciting to see that we're continuously finding ways to improve.
Our quality depends on everybody giving 100%.
Making sure that it's a top-notch product going out the door.
That's our priority number one.
If we don't have a quality product, we don't have customers.
And they look at the cheese and say, wow, Fred, this is some great cheese. Makes me feel good.
We know that we're doing a very good job and have very high quality.
And it's got our name on it, so it's got my name on it.
Within the supply division and throughout the company, food safety is a #1 priority. In fact, every employee has a responsibility to ensure that their plant meets all quality expectations. To meet food safety standards, the supply division utilizes a Safeway program called HACCP, Hazard Analysis of Critical Control Points. The program's goal is to identify potential hazards before they become a problem.
Supply plants are monitored internally and externally by various groups. The first being a HACCP audit, which is done by personnel within the supply division. We also have a corporate food safety audit done by Safeway personnel. And then from external sources, we would have FDA inspectors in beverage plants, and various other plants, if they're packing meat or dairy, may have additional inspectors.
Throughout the day, we monitor everything that we're producing. We check for flavor, we check for correct packaging, and we check for quality, basically how it looks after it's packaged. And we make sure that it meets all our standards. In fact, we make sure that it exceeds them. It only takes one mistake to ruin the trust that you've taken 70 years to build. And so we have to make sure that everything that we produce is going to be right the first time.
We ensure quality of our products by measuring a number of key quality indicators. We also require our suppliers to supply us with product that meets specifications, and those specifications on each, say, shipment are checked and verified that they do meet our Safeway requirements.
Throughout the supply division, quality is without a doubt on the mind of each and every employee.
This operation here at Bellevue Ice Cream is committed 100% to quality, and that's what we try to achieve.
Quality at the Bellevue bread plant is important to me because I go to the stores and check our quality.
It's just amazing the amount of work and pride everybody takes in their jobs here at Lucerne Foods.
Quality is a built-in part of each product produced by the supply division. And that's one of the reasons why Safeway brand products have been such a success in the marketplace for over 70 years.
Supply has had several brands that have been around as long as Safeway. In fact, many of our brands are known almost as well as the S in the Safeway is known. For example, Lucerne is a brand that goes back 50 years and is an outstanding brand known for quality in the dairy area. Another brand is Mrs. Wright's, which is a bakery brand. When Safeway was started in the manufacturing areas, we started with 6 bread plants, and Mrs. Wright's was one of the original brands. The third area in terms of brands that we have is more modern. We see it day in and day out now, and that's called Safeway Select, which today is known to be our high quality label that exceeds, not just meets, but exceeds any comparable quality item from a national branding company. When I think of why a store manager should carry our products, I keep coming back to the fact that we manufacture some unique destination type products that are only available through us. But the real critical factor is not only are those products designed from product development through packaging to be better than the comparable national brand. You can only get them at Safeway, and you can get them at a value that is much better than what you would get for the comparable national brand. And that is something that no consumer can get anywhere else but at Safeway. Now in supply, we're held accountable for just a few things that we have to do very, very well. First and foremost is quality. We're accountable for delivering first pass quality. And what I mean by first pass quality is that when the products are delivered to our customers, the Safeway retail divisions, they are A1 quality products. Second, we're held accountable from the perspective of cost. Our goal, our mission in life, every year is to reduce our per unit costs 1 to 2% every single year. The third area that we're held accountable for is in the area of product supply. So we have a service to sales goal of being 99.7% in stock. And what that means is that for every 1,000 orders that go in, more than 997 of those, will be fulfilled perfectly. When we reflect back on how we're doing against those 3 goals, we're making good progress. In terms of quality, we're operating in the upper 98th percentile. In terms of cost, our cost per unit has flattened and has started to go down. And in terms of product supply, in other words, how well we are at fulfilling the 99.7% service to sales ratio that we're targeting. We've made substantial improvement. So we're beyond the Safeway standard, but we have quite a ways to go to get to 99.7. But I have every confidence that with the team that we have in place, all from the front